Since its publication in June 2017, NEC has continued to update its contract forms in line with community feedback and discussion. NEC have published amendments to NEC4 in January 2019, October 2020, and January 2023. In today's video, we're going to explore the 2023 amendments so you can ensure you're up to date with the latest NEC revisions. Before we begin, if you find these videos useful, we'd really appreciate it if you gave this video a like. It helps us reach more people like yourself. Also, if you haven't already, why not consider subscribing and clicking the notification bell? This way, you'll get alerted when we upload a new video every week. First, we have a new secondary option, X29 Climate Change. One of the significant changes is the incorporation of secondary option X29, which deals with climate change. This option was initially published as a standalone in July 2022 and has now been integrated into relevant main contracts. X29 Climate Change is aimed at helping NEC users achieve net zero greenhouse gas emissions and address climate change and biodiversity targets. It allows users to outline their climate change requirements in the scope and provides a climate change plan for suppliers to detail their strategy. It even introduces the possibility of using a performance table to incentivize suppliers to meet performance targets, all with the goal of reducing the impact of the project on climate change. Next, we have a cost component amendment tailored towards people working from home. Amendments have also been made to the schedule of cost components and short schedule of cost components. These changes address the issue of people working from home or locations outside of the designated working areas. The amendments provide options for recovering costs of people working outside of these areas when it's in line with the contract. Another notable change relates to the client's ability to use the supplier's design. This has been clarified and extended to include documents prepared for design, providing more flexibility in project development. This change applies to relevant subcontracts as well. Adjudication, option W2. In contracts featuring YUK2, the dispute resolution option W2 has been amended to ensure that the adjudicator decides the procedure and timeline for the adjudication, aligning with the requirements of the Housing Grants Construction and Regeneration Act 1996. Early contractor involvement, secondary option X22. Secondary option X22, which deals with early contractor involvement, has been updated to offer greater flexibility in project development during stage 1. It also provides clarity on the process to follow if works do not proceed to stage 2. This change allows for better assessment of compensation events and avoids the need to deal with them individually. Design liability, ECSC, ECSS and PSSC. The liability for design has been addressed in ECSC and ECSS contracts. An option has been introduced to reduce the contractor's obligation for design to reasonable skill and care. This aligns with practices in certain jurisdictions where suppliers are reluctant to accept liability beyond reasonable skill and care. Similar provisions have been included in the PSSC. Limit of liability, short contracts. A new clause has been included to allow a total limit on liability to be specified in the contract data or subcontract data for short contracts, bringing them in line with the main contracts. Client's property and payment on termination, FMSC, FMSS and SSC. In FMSC and FMSS contracts, clarity has been provided regarding the service provider's liability for loss or damage to the client's property arising from providing the service. The client also has the option to limit this liability in the contract data. Payment on termination. The SSC has been brought into line with the other contracts in respect of payment due to the supplier in the case of termination due to the purchaser's default or for the purchaser's convenience. Metroun, a commercial hub to your business.